Could you eat a tomato? You better be careful. It might be poisonous. And don't panic if you see a comet in the sky. On this episode of Deep Fat Fried, the myth of deadly tomato and the 1910 panic from Haley's Weird History, Volume 2 gets deep fat fried.
Deep Fat Fried!
Well.
That's pretty great.
Dude, pretty much everything that I love has tomato as a component of it, dude. Spaghetti, pizza, French fries with ketchup, hamburgers with ketchup, well-done steaks with ketchup.
How do I break this to Paul? Paul, I'm sorry to inform you, you're actually dead.
You're dead, Paul.
You're dead.
You died of tomato.
Tomato
you
overdose.
Stupid fuck. Tomatoes are poison.
You overdosed on it,
Didn't
my
you
friend.
fucking know that shit, stupid ass?
Why is heaven or hell so shitty and boring just like real life always was then?
Sorry, we didn't promise it'd be good. That was what people on Earth told you. They lied to you.
They lied.
Bastards.
So, you guys, almost everyone knows about the Salem witch trials, right? We've ever heard of that.
Yeah, we did a show about it.
Yeah, we did. But have you ever heard about the Salem tomato trial?
What? All right.
Aww.
This town needs its fucking trial holding abilities fucking revoked.
All right. Let me just, I'm reaching up there to get some Paul. So, obviously, you can take this tale with a grain of salt.
So basically, what you're saying to me is that what you're about to say.
It's called apocryphal accounting, TJ.
What you're about to tell me is 100% true, but you got to cover your ass a little, just in case some little dweeb out there is like,
yes.
Okay.
You understand perfectly.
Yeah. Fuck you, actually, guy. Anyway.
Hey, but they exist for a reason. It was in the early 1800s in New Jersey.
Yeah, target
that the tomato was put on trial because, of course, the people believed they were poisonous. Poisonous!
Oh, God!
Historians tell us that people have been viewing tomatoes quite suspiciously since the early 16th century. People thought that tomatoes were sinful because of their ability to act as a fruit that increases sexual desire.
I think it's just because they're fucking red.
You see that tomato, though? You eat some tomato, TJ, and it's like, you got a boner, dude.
Because for some reason, Christians don't like things that are plump and red. You know what I mean? Something about plump and red.
It makes them think. It makes them think certain things when they see plumpness and redness. You know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So plump and red.
That's why, even though it never fucking says the fucking fruit in the Garden of Eden's an apple, but they still just like, it's gotta be an apple. I know one of them evil plump red some bitches is fucking to blame for that. And they also, I guess, don't like tomatoes.
Yeah, I guess not. The trial officially commenced in 1820 when just one person in Salem refused to believe that the fruit was poisonous. Puh!
How dare you, sir?
Oops. Next slide, please. An American gentleman.
Scotty, this is you. This just looks like you old.
This is Scotty old, dude. And
of course,
and I ended up exactly where I belong, dude. An American gentleman, farmer, and historian, Colonel Robert Gibbon Johnson.
Wait, you call it Colonel Robert? Okay, I guess it makes sense because Colonel's a rank.
Yes.
But when you said Colonel Robert Gibbon, it made it sound like it was his last name, and then you fucking throw Johnson at me. Fucking asshole.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry.
Colonel Robert Gibbon Johnson tried to coax residents to be less frightened of the fruit by introducing tomato growing competitions. He ate the fruit on a regular basis, trying to prove that there was nothing wrong with the fruit. But people thought he was crazy. He was mad. He was insane. How can you do this? You're eating poison, Colonel Johnson. So let's get to the trial. Colonel Johnson announced that he would eat a tomato, also called the wolf peach.
The wolf peach?
Jerusalem apple.
Jerusalem apple?
Or love apple. On the steps of the county courthouse at noon. That morning in 1820, about 2,000 people were jammed into the town square. The spectators began to hoot and jeer. Then, 15 minutes later, Colonel Johnson emerged from his mansion, of course, as a gentleman.
Yeah.
And headed up towards Market Street. Towards the courthouse, of course. The crowd cheered. The fireman's band struck up a lively tune. He was a very impressive-looking man as he walked along the street. He was dressed in his usual black suit with white ruffles, black shoes and gloves, tricorn hat and cane. And at the courthouse steps, he spoke to the crowd about the history of the tomato. He picked a choice one from a basket on the steps and held it up so that it glistened in the sun. To help dispel the tall tales, the fantastic fables that you have been hearing, and to prove to you that it is not poisonous, I am going to eat one right now! There was not a sound as the colonel dramatically brought the tomato to his lips and took that faithful bite. A woman in the crowd screamed and fainted, but no one paid her any attention. They were all watching Colonel Johnson as he took one bite after another. He raised both his arms and again bit into one, and then another. The crowd cheered and the fireman's band blared a song. He'd done it! They shouted, he's still alive!
Man.
This is the story of Robert Gibbon Johnson and his tomato, and the tomato, Salem County Historical Society.
Salem County Historical Society, you guys nailed this one.
Dude, I was born in the wrong era. Look at all it took to entertain fucking 2,000 people back in fucking the 1600s or whatever the fuck this was, 1700s.
1820.
Whatever, same
Back in 1820, you could just walk up on the fucking courthouse steps and be like, I am a well-dressed man and I eat now this tomato.
Women fainting in the audience.
The vapors.
That man is a lunatic.
This man is insane.
This guy is a P-I-M-P.
So why did people think tomatoes were poisonous to begin with? You guys have any idea? You got any ideas, TJ? You probably have no ideas.
This is like deep fat fried fucking 1901 or something, where you guys are fucking. Paul's still a fat fuck. Scotty, you're like this old emaciated corpse person, and I've apparently had some terrible botched sex change.
You have the colic, dude.
Yeah.
You have any idea of those, TJ? Any idea why?
And the the colic punch kills the goat. You can trust a man with a face like this. Look at this guy's face. Hold on. This guy looks unhealthy. This bitch looks hideous. But this guy, that's a trustworthy fucking face.
Look at his
trustworthy fucking face, bro.
He's got ruddy cheeks, you know?
Yeah.
I knew you guys would love this image.
And look at them. They're drinking the fucking gazpacho or whatever the fuck it's called.
So, TJ, what do you think? Why do you think?
What do I think? What?
Why did people think, especially in Western Europe, that tomatoes were poisonous?
I know why.
I actually think I know. I've heard a reason why. I don't know if it's like what your research has showed, but I've heard it's because they used to serve them on lead plates.
Yes.
And some of the poison from the lead actually got into the tomato because it's a very juicy.
Aren't tomatoes members of the deadly nightshade family as well?
We'll actually get into that in a little bit. In the late 1700s, a large percentage of Europeans feared the tomato. People in Mesoamerica and South America, they ate tomatoes commonly, so they had no problems with it.
They weren't idiots. We were.
Yeah, we're the idiots. A nickname for the fruit was the poison apple because it was thought that aristocrats got sick and died after eating them. But the truth of the matter was that wealthy Europeans used pewter plates, which were high in lead content. Whoops. Because tomatoes are so high in acidity, when placed upon this particular tableware, the fruit would leach lead from the plate, resulting in many deaths from lead poisoning. No one made this connection between plate and poison at the time, and of course they blamed the tomato. Like, well, what did he eat? He didn't eat the plate. He ate the tomato.
Gotta be the fucking tomato.
Nobody
That's
ate
the only
anything else
way.
off of a lead plate, though. How did the tomato get the sole blame?
I guess
for
they
the
didn't.
shit?
I guess they didn't eat anything else that was acidic enough to leach the lead from the plate.
We have tomatoes this evening. The pewter plates.
Everyone knows you eat tomatoes from the pewter plates.
The poor fucks. The tomato didn't really just get blamed for what was really lead poisoning. Before the fruit made its way to the table in North America, it was classified as a deadly nightshade, a poisonous family of the Solanaceae plants that contain toxins and tropane alkaloids. Interesting. I'll pretend I know what that means.
Yes.
Of course. Obviously, that family will indeed.
Yes, alkaloids.
Tropane alkaloids do their fall. So.
Erp.
But guys, this motherfucker right here, a lot of people think he really did the tomato in.
Fucking asshole.
This guy was John Gerard in his publication Herbal in 1597.
Scotty, excuse me, it's the Herbal or General Historic
whatever.
of Plants.
By the way, this is actually a book for sale. You can buy it for $8,500.
I'll get it.
Which drew heavily from the agricultural works of, this is in French, so I'm going to
say it.
Dodens Elecus.
That's not even close to right.
I know it's not because I can't speak French.
Stupid.
All right, you do it.
I don't need to. I don't have nothing to prove here.
Oh, fuck you then.
I have nothing to prove here, Scotty.
So most of the information, which was inaccurate to begin with, was plagiarized by Gerard, a barber surgeon who misspelled words like, oh God, I'm going to mispronounce the word, let alone fucking misspell it. Lycoperticum?
Yeah, lipoperticum.
Perticum, yeah.
Probably.
And the collection's rush final product. And this is a quote from Gerard. He considered the whole plant to be of rank and stinking savor. The fruit was corrupt, which he left to every man's censure, and while the leaves and stalk ion, I guess that's what he said.
Ion, yeah.
Which was inaccurate to begin with. Of course, it was plagiarized by Gerard, a barber surgeon who... we actually read that twice. I don't know why I did that. Gerard's opinion of the tomato, though based on a fallacy, prevailed in Britain and the British North American colonies for over 200 years.
So some doofus who can't even fucking spell
it's
is
bad
like,
for you.
It's rank and stinking savor and its fruit is disgusting and blah, blah. And for 200 years, people are just like, don't eat those. Fucking Gerard the dumbass fucking said it's bad for you. So
hey, whatever, man. Gerard, who's plagiarized someone else's work, who said that they misidentified the plant. Yeah, totally right.
A bunch of idiots denying themselves of the deliciousness of the tomato.
Yeah.
The
Meanwhile,
tomato dark ages, bro.
They were actually decorative in a lot of parts in Europe. It was like a decoration. It was like, oh, look at this. It's a tomato, but you can't eat it because
don't eat it. It's poison. While us stupid European white dumbasses were over here fucking cowering in fear of the fucking tomato, people in fucking Latin America were fucking chowing down.
Well, Italy had was a big part of the reason why is because pizza and the other stuff, other dishes became popularized in Europe and were heavy in tomato.
There's probably, you know what? We got flat earthers now. Where's the poison tomatoers? I want to see a bunch of people that fucking say all of our problems because we started eating tomatoes.
Well, because like there's standing refutations of the poison tomato myth, though, because people fucking gorge on tomatoes now.
Oh,
yeah,
right. But where is the fucking flat earth?
Fat fucks in America. Yeah,
the round earth is totally unproven.
Yeah, flat earthers might be dumb, but they still like pizza. So.
You can't jump up in the air and see if the earth is flat or round, but you can watch people eat fucking pizza and not die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but you know, think about this. We've seen spikes in several mental illnesses. You know, we've seen spikes in autism diagnoses.
Right.
You know, we've seen a lot of problems in this country.
Correlation is not equal causation. TJ.
Well, sometimes it does, Scotty.
All right.
And in the case of the poison tomato,
show us the causal link that between tomatoes and all the things you're saying.
We started eating tomatoes. Bad shit happened.
Right.
Boom.
Okay. TJ eats a lot of tomatoes.
I'm a stupid fucking asshole. I eat tomatoes.
Yeah. More tomatoes equal more disease. TJ ate more tomatoes.
Remember that one time?
TJ caused
dude, remember that one
COVID-19.
time?
Perfect.
Remember that one time I stopped eating tomatoes and I was like super nice and like empathetic and stuff?
No, I remember that.
All remembers.
Sure. How about the Halley's Comet panic of 1910, TJ?
Dude, what a bunch of fucking rubes. Dude, you should rename this episode again. We argued about it before the episode went, about how this one had to be fucking weird history too. It should be just called like People in History Were Stupid Rubes, Volume 1. Like, what a bunch of fucking morons, dude. Don't eat tomatoes. Like, oh God, there's a comet. Everybody fucking run. What is this shit?
Yeah, it's unfortunately some of it's that dumb. In 1705, the English astronomer Edmund Halley, thank you, TJ, predicted that a bright comet would return to Earth in 1758.
Dude, it's Scotty again.
I know.
What all these fucking people look like Scotty?
I was about to fucking say it, but then I'm like, I already said it, so it feels like a repetition. But yeah, it really does. It looks like Scotty again.
Everybody that has anything to do with tomatoes or comets all looks like Scotty.
I don't know what it is, dude.
This is some secret Scotty Through the Ages episode where he like Scotty's an immortal being and he's like reliving all his old grudges and
he's
shit.
Bragging. Yep. He's like, I can't tell people that I'm an immortal fucking vampire, but let's just cover a few historical
random historical events.
This guy was brilliant. He sure was brilliant.
This one brilliant guy proved to a bunch of rubes that the tomato wasn't poison. He happened to look exactly like me. And then a few centuries before that, a different brilliant man who looked about the same as me discovered Halley's Comet.
Halley's Comet, of course.
Yeah. Of course. He was called Edmund Halley back then, but I guess he was until his death. But anyway.
So he predicted that a bright comet would return to Earth in 1758. Halley applied Isaac Newton's laws of motion to the comet, picking the exact week it would appear in the sky. When the comet arrived on schedule, it became known as Halley's Comet, though Edmund Halley didn't live long enough to see his prediction come true.
Sure he didn't.
The comet reappeared in 1835 and again in 1910. So just keep in mind that people hundreds of years before did not panic, but then people in 1910 were a bunch of rubes. So you think, oh, the past, they were so dumb. Not necessarily. But the 1910 visit of Halley's Comet.
What made people get all of a sudden dumber in 1910? That was around the same time we started eating tomatoes again, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, TJ. Because scientists warned the comet could extinguish all life on Earth, TJ. The end of the world.
So basically, a bunch of people fell for like 1910 clickbait.
Yeah, yes. Dude, the 1910 version of the Weekly World News, bro. Bigfoot rapes Bat Boy, you know?
It's in the Bible. Look it up. All right.
Coming end of world. Halley's Comet may snuff out life on Earth. Asterisk. May not happen.
How'd it go from coming end of world, which, by the way, if this was really the real shit, would this not be front page news?
Dude,
it was in some cases.
This is obviously tucked away on page fucking 18 or something.
You lead with the hotness. It's still this way today, dude. You read a fucking... How many times are we doing Flash Friday and we pull a story based on the headline?
Yeah.
And then we read into the story and it's like, dude, this fucking headline's complete bullshit. It has nothing to do with anything.
Of course.
Man kills entire family. Turns out he just stubbed his toe.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, well. His family's fine. Why'd they write this?
So when Halley's Comet was making its next pass by the planet, it sparked a lot of normal interest, according to Wired.com. Telescope sales skyrocketed as the comet neared. Hotels even offered special deals so people could gather on the top of their roofs to watch the meteor pass. So a lot of people were like, yeah, we want to see it happen. Of course, not everyone was pleased with the comet's appearance, as many believed the shooting star would end civilization. This crazy idea came courtesy of Camille Flammarion, a French astronomer.
I guess Camille used to be a guy's name?
Yeah.
Cool.
A French astronomer who believed the comet's 24 million mile long tail contained a poisonous cyanogen gas that would, quote, would impregnate the atmosphere.
No, read this in the Alex Jones voice.
Right. Would impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet.
Unless you try my new comet-proof bone broth.
It literally goes to that level.
It tastes like rich, chocolatey fucking Ovaltine.
Will coming comet collide with Earth? Asked a 1907 Kentucky newspaper. Scientists informed Earthlings that the comet would not smash into the planet, but the news about Halley's Comet wasn't all reassuring. The New York Times, failing paper, failing. But unfortunately, the New York Times did a piece on Flammarion's apocalyptic theory that encouraged some less than trustworthy newspapers to run wild with the story. Imagine that. A salacious press. So in addition to those telescopes, people started ransacking stores for gas masks.
Uh-oh.
How about this, guys? Anti-comet pills and comet protecting umbrellas.
What?
I told you
Anti-comet pills.
Yep.
Yes.
Man, truly rubes of history, bro.
The rubes of history.
Dumb rubes of
The protection
history.
of comet pills. New
You know
York,
what?
May 16th.
All right, I'm officially. This is no longer that.
Whatever the comet may do to this old Earth, the Negroes of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, are prepared. They are confident they will go unscathed because they are well packed with comet pills. Officers of Hamburg American Line Allegheny and from Port-au-Prince today said they saw that all the Negroes, stevedores, servants, laborers, merchants, beggars, and thieves are rushing pell-mell to the hut of a shrewd old voodoo doctor just outside the city, who is selling comet pills as fast as he can make them.
Which I'm assuming is probably pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, I'm sure. So the Ogden Standard warned of a coming end of world, followed by Familions warning that Halley's Comet may snuff out life on Earth. We know that. We know what he said. He said no one's going to be able to breathe. It's going to impregnate the planet.
Dude, can you imagine how rich you could be if you could go back in time to when these rubes were all walking the planet? And just be like, "Oh there, bruv, if you give me your entire life savings, I'll come back tomorrow with double it." You know, and they just do it, and you just walk away with everybody's life savings. And then, like, it's before, like, computer
I have a
tracking
special
shit.
candle that attracts wish-granting fairies, I do.
Yeah.
Light it up in your bedroom tonight. Few hours later, a wish-granting fairy will show up.
Usually takes
And she'll
about...
grant you any wish you want.
How long does it take to kick in and summon the fairy? About how long does it take to get out of this town? About 20 minutes. About that, then. Yes.
20 minutes step. Well, you know what? Better make it an hour. 1 hour.
Better make it an hour. I want to eat lunch.
Well, leisurely lunch. Okay, several hours from now, the fairy shall appear.
Comet pills. Give me a fucking break.
The San Francisco Call reported, "Comet may kill all Earth life," says scientist. Okay. The scientist said it, so of course it must be true.
Scientist.
By the way, calling this guy a scientist is kind of laughable looking into him.
But you know what? This is why people fucking don't take scientists seriously, because the news media runs rampant with some fucking wild dip shit like this because it sells papers.
Of course.
And comet pills.
So the paper put its hope for survival on the species of the fact that most astronomers do not agree with Flammarion, noting,
well, then why is the headline not "Comet not going to destroy all life on Earth according to most scientists"?
well, it's clickbait.
Okay.
I guess paper.
No one clicks that. Or no one grabs that off the shelf or whatever the fuck.
The tail of the comet is of almost inconceivable rarefication. In short, the cyanogen gas was too dispersed to impregnate the entire atmosphere. So they're saying, like, look, it's in tiny amounts. So it doesn't exist, sure, but it's not even going to hit the planet. And even if it did, there's not enough gas to actually replace the atmosphere. So you're going to be fine. Oh, yeah. You know what, TJ? Okay, no, we haven't got there yet. So suddenly, anti-comet pills flooded the market. One promised to serve as an elixir for escaping the wrath of the heavens. Pull that image. Actually, as someone has a bottle of the pills.
All right.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was not hyperlinked, but whatever.
I don't know why. Yeah, I want to see these fucking comet pills in action. Looks like it doesn't work.
What the fuck? Okay, I guess it doesn't work. That's fucking disappointing as shit. Actually, it was able to find comet pills.
Like actual comet pills for sale?
Yes, an actual vial of or bottle of comet pills. Oh, that's right there. The first one.
Here you go. All right, I'll just put it up on the screen then. Comet pills. Comet pills. Images.
Yep. And go there.
This here?
Yep.
Wow.
Comet pills.
Yeah, Halley's Comet.
For complete protection from noxious gases emitted by Halley's Comet. Wow. Good old snake oil. Did you guys ever you guys got to see, well, I was young when Halley's came by. Have you guys ever gotten to see Halley's Comet?
No.
I was doing the math. I was born 1 year before, or 1 year after, excuse me.
I was too young.
Yeah, I was like 7 or 8, I think, or 6. When was the last time it was here? In 86 or 87?
Yeah, 86.
I got to see
here.
I got to see that comet.
Dude.
Well, I was 1 year old, so.
So me and you are going to live pretty long.
Yeah, you guys got to live to be ancient. You want to see it, dude. But I don't see it.
I gotta live to 2061 to see that shit.
All right, dude. I'm hoping I make it, but who the fuck knows?
I probably ain't seeing it.
She's like, I ain't seeing shit.
I ain't gonna see it.
I ain't gonna see nothing. Even if I do, I'll be an old fuck, so I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go up a little bit, please.
Sorry.
So the situation, grew so bad that police arrested 2 Texans for selling sugar pills as comet remedies. Yet demand for comet cures was so high that the police were reluctantly forced to release the snake oil salesman.
You were like, they're suppressing the truth. Let them go.
Oh shit! All right, give him your bomb. Oh yeah, give him the pills. Give him the pills.
There's nothing wrong with the comet pills.
Yeah, dude, the comet ivermectin, bro.
Yeah, it just shows that these stupid. Yeah, whatever. Everyone's an idiot. This planet's full of morons.
So this is what someone actually would say would happen. So the effect the comet would have on Earth's oceans also seemed to be a common focus amongst those convinced life as they knew it would soon be ending.
So everyone just decided that we're just like, even though the comet had come multiple times before, they were just this time around, we're just going to be afraid of it.
This time it's fucking over for everybody.
Yeah, I've got something to read.
Where is it?
Right there. So this is an alarmist that they actually sent this letter into the World Observatory. The comet will cause the Pacific to change basins with the Atlantic, and the primeval forests of North and South America to be swept by the briny avalanche over the sandy plains of the Great Sahara, tumbling over and over with houses, ships, sharks, whales, and all sorts of living things in one heterogeneous mass of chaotic confusion.
I wish that happened. That sounds fucking metal as fuck.
Some crazy shit was going to go down. All right, guys, so what happened? As you guys know it, life as we knew it was destroyed that day.
I remember reading about the apocalypse in 1910, right?
But luckily, we've built back since then, but that is what happened. No,
and we've built back better.
Right? You're right, Jack. So on April 20th, 1910, people first spotted Halley's Comet approaching Earth. Would the comet destroy all life as we know it?
Tune in next week on Dragon Ball Z.
No. I mean, obviously fucking not. Halley's Comet would travel closer to Earth on May 18th, 1910. What's with these fucking May doom dates? Worried people looked to the skies and counted down their last days. Some women even stuffed cloth in their door frames to block the deadly cyanogen gas.
Aw.
Worried parishioners flocked to their churches, and according to science writer Matt Simon, people actually sealed up their keyholes to keep the poison out of their homes.
What a waste of time and energy.
Interesting fact about this. Mark Twain also passed away as the comet flew overhead. Pretty crazy coincidence considering he was born as the last comet flew by in 1835.
Yep.
Came in with Halley's Comet and went out. And actually someone I would love to do a biography on. Really interesting guy. So in the Sea of Dumbs, Mark Twain, really smart dude.
Never heard of him.
Very witty.
Who the fuck's that?
So terror occasioned by the near approach of Halley's Comet had seized hold of a large part of the population of Chicago. The New York Times reported on May 18th. And New York wasn't immune either. Some of the more superstitious in the sections of large... oh, wow, this is xenophobic here. Some of the more superstitious in the sections largely inhabited by foreigners were on the verge of panic, the paper related. Many prayed on bended knees in the streets and parks. Across the Atlantic in France, crowds gathered to watch the world end. And yet, the comet passed by without snuffing out all life. We'd somehow beat the comet. We made it, guys. The comet is here, and we're still alive. We survived.
Dude, this type of shit.
We survived.
The fact that this type of shit still happens, too, like, you know, there are people get into these panics and shit, and they think that the fucking world's gonna suddenly end. Just goes to show you that our whole civilization has like a death urge, dude. People secretly deep down want this shit to happen. They're like, bring this fucking nightmare all to an end. Oh no, the comet's gonna boil the seas. They're secretly hoping.
I think there's some egomaniacal shit in it too, where it's like, you know, you don't want to just be like one little chain in the fucking story of humanity and the Earth's history and shit. You want to be like, I was there when the book ended. I was there when the credits fucking rolled.
Flammarion refused to admit defeat, however.
This is the guy that came up with this crackpot shit? Okay.
Of course.
Wait, he refused to admit defeat when the world didn't end?
Yes.
Okay.
The scientists proclaimed that several observers had certain olfactory experiences, which are described variously as the smell of burning vegetables, or a marsh, or of acetylene.
Oh.
One of those things.
Well, I guess he...
Several observers.
How the fuck does that vindicate you? You were like, the world's going to end in poison gas. Well, you know, a lot of people did smell some funny stuff, you know, like... smells like a burning fucking carrot.
Did someone rip a fart by this guy?
I'm kind of like, split the difference, and I'm kind of still right, you know?
Someone ripped a nasty fart by one of these guys' buddies. Like, oh, God, I smell like, was it sulfur? We better report that.
It smells like fucking...
Professor,
like acetylene. Must be from the Comet.
Professor, how does it feel to be proven completely and utterly wrong about everything that you've ever said?
Well, actually, several people around me smelled something, so fuck you. I was right.
What a great guy.
I smell something, so you know how that's all, right? You know, I'm Kodak, how you say? I guess that's a dumb Rubes of History or weird volume. It's some episode. Just watch it.
It's an episode.
Or you already watched
liked it.
Fuck
the
you.
End. Bye.
No malarkey, Jack. Back in my day, we didn't have any entertainment at all, except for the old Scranton village elder. He only had 2 teeth. But that guy had a million stories. I ain't joking, Fat. We'd sit in the cold every night to hear him tell the tale of the cat he ate once. Nowadays, what with the mobile pages and the web phones and Netscapes and whatnot, it's hard to figure out what even to watch. Most days I'll just surf AOL. Lost, Jack. How do I click off the page? Why are there so many browsers open? It's all too goddamn much if you ask me. Now listen, Fat, I've got your solution. It's called the Pessimist Productions Patreon. You can click the link below and bam, all the entertainment you need, Jack. It's like Willy Wink, you know, the chocolate factory thing. Hundreds of exclusive shows. I ain't kidding. Exclusive streams, more news. You can't go wrong. So cancel that AOL. Join the Pessimist Productions Patreon now. Don't wait, or you'll be sorry, Jack.